Hello friends, my name is Torie Smith. I'm the Connections Director for the South Kansas City campus. Thank you for joining us again in our Devo series as we continue on our journey to Christmas. When I first got the invite to participate in the Advent devotionals this year, my first thought was to pass on it. Because if I'm being really honest, I'm not feeling a lot of Christmas spirit this year. Between mass shootings, the attack on Israel, the repeated bombing of Gaza, this year just hasn't really been one where I feel like putting up a Christmas tree and singing Christmas carols. The ask was to reflect on Christmas in your life, asking the question, what has the journey to Christmas looked like for you? Having grown up in the church, my first thought was Advent services. Since I was a kid, Advent services have been a part of my family's Christmas rhythm every year. Every Sunday for the month leading up to Christmas, we would pack into our minivan and head back to church for the second time that day. I thought about those pink and purple candles indicating hope, peace, joy, love. I thought about the Christ candle, finally lit on Christmas morning, indicating the light that had come into the dark world. I thought about what it meant for the light to come on for the first time, and how hope, peace, joy, and love finally had an incarnate expression. There's a song written by Rich Mullins and Mitch McVicker called My Deliverer. And I still remember my dad playing this song for an Advent service when I was a kid. The room was dark, lit only by the dim light, lighting the lampstand so that he could see the music sheet. It begins by talking about Mary and Joseph's escape to Africa to escape Herod's rage. Then come the words, there along the banks of the Nile. Jesus listened to the words that the captive children used to sing. My deliverer is coming. My deliverer is standing by. I think sometimes in the industrialized fervor that is Christmas of red and green and lights and presents, I am quick to forget that the first Christmas actually began in suffering. Christmas was called into existence by the cry of a world groaning under the weight of its own sin. The first Christmas was just as privy to suffering and sadness and the stench of death as we are today. As the song progresses, it speaks of wounded hearts and cries for healing. All the while, Jesus listens, knowing that the healing that they are crying for comes from his own wounds. In the Advent service where my dad played this song, one by one, the candles began to flicker to life around the room. The refrain continued, my deliverer is coming. My deliverer is standing by. As I think about the journey to Christmas, I think it's completely okay to hold tension for sadness and for celebration. No different from the world 2,000 years ago, our world is dark and suffering is no stranger. Yet the flicker of light that sparked onto the scene in a manger in Bethlehem erupted into a bonfire at Calvary with the cross. The glory of God was on display. The difference between our journey to Christmas and their journey to Christmas is that we have the light of history, a history which continues to touch the present. We know that the same God who in Isaiah 61 was sent to bind up the brokenhearted and proclaim freedom for the captives and comfort those who mourn is the same God who in Revelation 21 will be with his people and he will be their God. Our deliverer has come, and he will come again. In the middle of Advent season, we wait. It may seem as though we wait in darkness, but may we remember that we wait with a candle in our hands for two reasons. The first, that we remember that the light has already come into the darkness, and the darkness will not overcome it. The second, to remember that because we have a candle in our hands, we have a responsibility to share that light with the world. May we be a people who carry our candles with hope, with joy, with peace, and with love. May we wait in the hope that Christ has come. In closing, I want to share a prayer with you that has brought me deep comfort in dark nights. The prayer of Compline comes from the liturgical church, and it is practiced as an offering of closing. It is the last prayer of the night, and I think it does a beautiful job of holding the tension of suffering and celebration. Keep watch, dear Lord, with those who work or watch or weep this night. Give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend the sick, Lord Christ. Give rest to the weary. Bless the dying. Soothe the suffering. Pity the afflicted and shield the joyous, all for your love's sake. Amen.